Lieutenant Governor Steele, always a pleasure
It's
to
good
be
to be
with
back
you.
with you.
And chairman of
Absolutely.
GOPAC now.
Yeah.
Now tell us about GOPAC. What is
Well,
GOPAC?
GOPAC is a great organization. It's 30 years old this year. It was founded by Governor Pete DuPont back in 1978. And it's a grassroots organization designed to identify and train candidates all across the country for state and local office, Republican candidates. So I train guys and gals who want to run all the way from sheriff to governor.
Okay.
And it's really about building the farm team for the GOP, and we need one, quite frankly. We need to have a farm team in place to get those individuals ready to run for Congress and the United States Senate and one day the presidency.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the GOP field of candidates.
Yep.
First and foremost, can a Republican win in this political climate?
I think so. I think that there's still a legitimate shot for Republicans. Yeah, folks aren't too happy with some things that the party has done over the last few years, or specifically the administration. But it's a new day, it's a new opportunity, and I think our candidates for office will have a chance to really go out and express what they believe and what they feel, and connect hopefully with the American people in a genuine way, very much as the way you've seen Mike Huckabee and Barack Obama do in the early primary state of Iowa. So yeah, I think in the long run we have some cards that we can play that will be successful for us. It just depends on generally where the people feel that how they define change, how they define a new course, how they define the next 5-8 years in American life.
Well, we're talking about change because we're hearing a lot of that right now. That seems to be
It's
the
the
word.
buzzword.
That's the word.
Change.
That's the word.
Change.
Are there any agents of change in the Republican Party?
Of course there are. I think all the guys that are running are agents of change because they're not Bush. They don't come out of the Bush era. They don't come out of the Bush.
That's important, though, because do you think people are still aligning, whoever the candidate is, are they saying, well, whoever this is aligned with the president? Do they see President Bush when they see these candidates?
Certain Democrats will try to paint that picture, but I think the reality of it is, I mean, Mike Huckabee is one of the farthest, candidates away from where George Bush is, and he's expressed differences with the president on a number of issues. You see the same with Rudy Giuliani. Mitt Romney. So yeah, I think all of these guys that are running from Ron Paul to Mike Huckabee to Rudy are all agents of change, and they represent I think they represent in many respects a post-Reagan era for Republicans, the next generation of Republicans who are going to pick up the mantle and redefine and reshape the party. And I think what we're seeing is the reemergence of moderate centrist Republicans. You see in some quarters a strengthening of conservative Republicanism. So I think there's going to be this interesting blend over the next few years for the GOP.
Do you think that we will have an idea of who the nominee is going to be for the GOP after Super Tuesday?
No.
No. Why?
Because I still think there's enough vacillation in the base.
Is someone else getting ready to throw their hat into this race, you think?
No, I hope not. I hope not. But who expected a Mike Huckabee to be here? I mean, this was a guy who was off the radar screen.
That's right.
I mean, John McCain's body was left on the side of the road back in July for dead. It was like, oh, he's done. His campaign is imploded.
It's amazing.
Huckabee could win in South Carolina. Giuliani picks up Florida. Then the race stopped. All these guys now have delegates. They all have support out there. Who knows? Likewise on the Democratic side, people who are writing off Hillary Clinton, I'm astonished at that.
Did you see this?
I saw that.
What do you think about this?
The New York Giants won. I thought that was just a great headline. I thought that was wonderful.
I mean, how about this great big word down here,
crazy.
panic?
Look, the media has created Barack in many respects. They've not sat him down and drilled him the way they've drilled her.
Does she have reason to panic?
No.
No?
No.
Why?
Because her strategy is a lot like Rudy Giuliani's. The big states come into play, starting with Florida. She's going to be in the game. You don't think New York is going to vote for her? You don't think California is going to vote for her? You think that just because she loses Iowa, she potentially loses New Hampshire, everybody's going, oh, that's it, I give up?
But does that not say a lot? I mean, she was the front runner. She was the one that everyone expected to just go away with flying
but
colors.
her. Go back and listen to what she said and what her campaign said. She never came out and said, oh, I got this, I'm going to run the tables.
She didn't have to, did she?
Whether she had to or not is irrelevant. She didn't. And the fact that the media has kind of built her up to be this, this inevitable, queen of politics, she knows she has to run through this gauntlet. She knows that there are independent voters out there and there are conservative voters out there and there are moderate and liberal voters out there that she's got to appeal to within the Democratic Party.
But now, Senator Barack Obama has been able to not only engage Democrats, but crossing party lines, bringing Republicans in. His message is resonating with independents. We just attended a luncheon with undecided voters and independents who really feel strongly about his candidacy. And his victory in Iowa was just amazing.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Right.
What does that say about where this country is headed?
Win New York, win California, then talk to me.
Okay, so you're saying that not to write Senator Clinton off yet, and others.
You cannot, just as on the Republican side, you cannot write off Rudy Giuliani for his strategy, which hasn't even been employed yet.
Why has he fallen behind?
He never planned to play here anyway. He's not going to win here.
Okay.
He's not going to win in Iowa and not in a Republican primary. He knows that.
Okay.
So why waste the resources? Why expend the time and the energy when you can be building an operation on the ground in Florida, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, California? Yeah.
Is he too liberal to represent the party?
That's going to be the question for the party to answer.
Okay.
And they will answer it in those states, and we'll see. Just as Barack will have to stand the test of running a national campaign in those states, and his message will resonate. There's no doubt about that. But it's like anything. At some point, you have to ask yourself, now what? Then what? I mean, we're a nation at war. We're an economy that's slowing, and the question to be asked is, do we entrust that to a two-term state senator? Do we entrust that to a United States senator who's been in office for 2 terms? Do we entrust that to the former mayor of New York, to the former governor of Arkansas?
Do you think people are tired of the status quo?
I think so. I think that's true in both parties.
Okay.
I think that's true in both parties, and I think people are looking for something a little bit different. But I want something different, but I'm just not going to grab anything. Because the stakes are too high for our country and our economy and our people. And I think that we need to ask the serious, hard questions. So putting up headlines like that.
So she doesn't need to panic just yet.
No.
Is she panicking just yet?
I don't think she is. I think
so?
I don't. At least the people I know inside her camp have not indicated that.
It has to be quite deflating, though. I mean,
no one likes to lose. Everyone loves to win.
Fred Thompson, what happened to him? I mean,
okay, when you answer that question, let me know. I have no idea.
What happened?
I have no idea.
It's like he's just disappeared off the radar.
Yeah. It's one of the great phenomenons in politics. I mean, the hype before was greater than anything that's happened since.
We heard about the campaign aid with the checkered past, and then after that, it just went downhill. It's like he's not even there now.
Yeah, he's got to step it up. I don't know what he'll place here. Probably 4th, maybe 5th. I don't know. But they've got to look hard and long at the campaign, because you cannot run a Republican primary with this kind of absence of presence.
Governor Romney.
He just can't. He can't do a strong second, and he can't do a weak first.
If you were a betting man, or if you just want to make a prediction, who's the Democratic nominee and who's the Republican nominee?
Oh my goodness! Wow. Betting man prediction. I don't like to do either of those, because in November you'll roll this tape back and go, shit, what did he know?
Now that's not my style, but we'll talk about it.
I'm not going to predict, because the one thing I've always said about this campaign, it is the most fluid in American history. All bets are off. No one has claim to anything at this point. I mean, I could see a brokered convention on the Republican side where we get into the spring and summer and we still don't have a clear nominee. Everyone's got votes. Everybody's got delegates. No one has the numbers to win. And on the Democratic side, if if Clinton gets into Florida and wins Florida, then that changes the entire dynamics down there for her campaign and for Barack. He's an untested quantity. And going up against a seasoned politician and political system, we don't know what that mix means.
Well, we'll keep our eyes open and our ears open, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
All the best to you. So
Very
glad
nice
to
see you, girl. You're looking great.
Thank you so much.
I know you're out there behaving yourself, so we won't even go there.
Well, now, I don't know. Behaving's no fun. I don't like that. When necessary.
When necessary, right. Absolutely.
All the best to you.
All the best to you, too. Take care.
When we come back, more Huckaboom, Huckaburgers, and all types of things here on In the Know. Stay with us.